Broncos are down 6. Ball on their own 41-yard line. 51 seconds left. Russell Wilson and Sean Payton have 2 timeouts to go win the game with the touchdown in the fourth quarter. Do they do it? That was the scenario that the Broncos were pressed with, and Russell Wilson going up against the first-team defense at the very end of practice. Touchdown!
Yay!
They did it! They did it! They got into the end zone for the very first time. And we're going to break it down on the DNVR Broncos podcast, joined by Henry Chisholm and the great Alexis Perry.
What is that? Henry and the great Alexis.
And the great.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday ended with a
my
dig at you.
God.
I got to just start with a dig at you today.
Somebody left a
great.
comment that said, Zach and RK, you guys are so
So funny. I know. Don't worry. I watched the pod.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the pod.
Oh,
Of course I
thank you.
did. I
That
cannot
was
believe
cool.
I missed the Tumbler mug cup conversation.
Yeah.
That was built for me.
It
What's
was.
the answer?
So I think the cup that shall not be named
You can
because they're
say
not a
it.
sponsor.
You can say it.
The Stanley
Yeah,
Cup.
the Stanley Cup.
I think it is a tumbler.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
I think it's a tumbler.
I just don't know what a Tumblr is. Like Hank said, I just think of that website.
So I actually Googled this, but decided not to say it during the show.
Oh.
Apparently,
Oh.
the word tumbler came from it's like the 1600s, and it was what they called cups because a lot of them had round bottoms,
Okay.
so they tumbled a lot.
I love that you did research on this last night.
Yeah.
Instead of researching let's go ahead and look at some Broncos. No,
Yeah,
we're
instead
just
of
gonna
researching what happens with 51 seconds left
Oh, that's
on the
right.
41-yard line, down 6
See, you thought it was
in the fourth
41
quarter.
yard
Yeah,
line? I
yeah.
thought it was the 47.
Oh, no, that's the last play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
this
sorry.
is the
Yeah.
is the
Oh, this is the
start of the
start.
drill.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, here we
so
go.
Broncos need to go 59 yards. Don't worry, we'll get back to some Stanley Cup talk later.
Oh, we did the rating thing, didn't we?
We did what?
Did we do the rating thing?
Henry.
Sorry,
Henry. I'm
tired. I saw he was looking at before.
the great host of this show. Just let me guide us, okay?
Great,
You're
great.
just Henry,
I
okay?
know.
There we go.
I'll be quiet.
Finally, put
Follow
you in
the
your
leader.
place. My
Okay.
goodness. Can I get a one shot on me so Henry can stop talking? Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. No, we can get back to them. Okay. So they need to go 59 yards in 51 seconds. Very first pass. Actually, Henry, you had the better view.
I did.
Take us through this.
This
Yeah,
is awesome.
I'm giving you power now.
This is awesome. So he set the whole thing up.
Should
First
I not?
down.
Should I take it back? Alexis is
Don't
like, why'd you
take
do
it
that?
back.
I just think it's funny that you're like, I'm going to drive this show. And then you're like, first thing, you're like, actually, Hank, go
I
ahead and take
tossed
I know
it
he gets
to
to
him.
like the
That's what
fork in the
good
road and then
hosts
just
do.
like says, "Take the wheel real
Take the
quick."
wheel.
Alexis,
I
we
know.
did A to Z last year. You were great at tossing it to me, so I
Okay,
tossed it.
Tossed it.
Okay.
Okay. Open those notes.
Thanks for tossing. Speaking of tosses,
Ah.
Brandon Johnson runs a
Roger.
hitch on the sideline. Damari is like a step behind him. Brandon catches it for 8 yards. I didn't mark whether he got out of bounds.
He did not, which is a big issue with.
Yeah, I didn't think
I don't
he did.
know why we're doing that. Now, it obviously ends well, but why aren't you? I think he hitched inward. Why aren't you going out? No, that's not Brandon Johnson's call.
Yeah.
That's obviously the play call. But get out of bounds. 51 seconds left.
That'd be nice. They did have 2 timeouts.
1 timeout. 2 timeouts. You're correct. I'm sorry.
You're scaring me. Gotta let me drive.
They didn't call a timeout there, though. The
No,
clock
they
was
did
ticking.
not. 2nd and 2. It was Jaleel McLaughlin coming across the field with Alex Singleton like a half step behind him. Russ led him a little bit too far.
With Jonathan Harrison in Russ's face, though.
Yep, and that was probably a good thing. Like, if it's a completion, it's 2 yards, and the clock keeps running, and you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah.
Who knows what he was thinking? But
What it looked like to me, and you had a better angle, but it looked like a intentional overthrow to me, kind of.
it might have been. I think it might have been. It's just tough to say. 3rd and 2 now, and Marcus Callaway. He runs an out past Caden Stearns, catches the ball, and they call a timeout. They're now across midfield at the 47, 24 seconds left, and
1 timeout now.
1 timeout.
In timeout.
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 Oh, what language is that? It's
don't
French.
know.
Is
That's
that
French? Yeah, that's French because uno, Spanish.
So you just take the O off and anything's
Also,
French.
Zach looked me into my soul and he's like, Uno means one.
Oh boy.
Just telling you, I'm learning you here.
Okay, this is a little bit anticlimactic now, but they're at the 47-yard line. Jerry
First and 10,
Jeudy's
24 seconds left.
lined up out wide on Damari. He makes like a little move, gets like a half step on Damari, flies downfield. Russ leads him perfectly. Jerry brings it in over his shoulders. He goes to the ground. Damari's not far behind him. Like, it's not like he got cooked or anything, and that's a touchdown. Caught in the end zone, 12 seconds left. Bomb. Best play of camp.
Touchdown!
Touchdown!
First touchdown of camp. 10 days in, Alexis. There we go.
It took a minute, but it was worth
did.
it. It was a
many
great,
minutes.
great play. I love Hank's note at the bottom, just like super big text. It says bomb.
Just says bomb. Yeah.
And it was a bomb with 12 seconds left. I mean, it was a beautiful play. I wish Ryan Green was here
Yeah.
because he said that
Oh, boy.
it seemed like Jerry had to slow up a little bit. Like it was a little underthrown. Is that true? You had the best angle.
Let me add a little more context because Ryan Green was kind enough to provide me with updates because he was standing next to you. You two
we
had the
were in
best view.
Egypt.
Yes, we were in Egypt.
Yeah, we were like just
Yep. Alexis and I were in Egypt, could barely
Over
see
there.
what was going on. And here's the text I got from Ryan Green. Mathis covering Jeudy. Jeudy blew by him. Had to slow down a tad for the ball and shield Mathis away. Alexis, who were we trusting?
that's why I'm asking because for takeaways today, I took Ryan Green's
Okay.
eyes as truth. But you saw something a little
I remember
different.
when Henry
mean-
said there was no pass rush.
It,
Yeah.
it wasn't
That one
like
time.
a full sprint where he all the way into the end zone. He's still sprinting. He lays out, has to get his fingertips. Like
Okay.
he definitely like slowed down a little bit. Like he was tracking the ball, but I don't necessarily.
Okay.
Underthrow is
didn't,
a strong
like-
word.
So
So
it's-
underthrow would make me think something else.
So it still went
Okay.
over his shoulder, though.
oh yeah.
Okay, because when I saw that from Ryan, I imagined he had to turn around completely.
Yeah.
So I'm
No.
glad. I'm glad it wasn't a massive underthrow.
Ryan,
Yeah,
can you
like
cut
his
that out
last
of the
step
takeaways?
might have been like a half step or something.
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
And so best play of camp, first
Mm-hmm.
touchdown of camp, best period of camp, and it happens on the very final play of a 6-day grind for the
Exactly.
Broncos heading into an off day. You couldn't have drawn it up better.
I think that's the best part about it is these guys have been grinding it out for 6 days. There's been some ups and downs throughout the week, and for them to be able to finish on a team period like that, where obviously it's the situation which Sean Payton just went into in depth after practice today, just in terms of the 2-minute drill. Just given the situation, it was ideal to see it end like that. And honestly, I'm just so happy for Russ to have a play like that, to go into the weekend, it's his Sunday, and for Jerry as well. So, yeah, it couldn't have been better. Great timing.
Yes.
It was fantastic timing. And I want to now toss to the great Henry Chisholm.
Here we go.
Whoa.
To Henry, I'm
What
letting you.
changed?
Let's see what's up with Russ. Why don't you toss us to it?
Let's see what's up with Russ.
Well, you could
That
have
was
said.
terrible.
Let's see how back Russ is. You
Okay,
hear?
well,
How
I thought
back
that was
is
good.
Russ?
Okay.
Is
Let's
how
toss
Zac-
it to the great Alexis Perry to see how Russ did.
All right, I know all you viewers are wondering just how back is Russell Wilson. Let's check it out. How back is he?
Perfect to hear.
That's right.
Did we just blow people do that? No. Oh! Russell Wilson was at practice today.
Wow.
Let's go. A 5 out of 5 for Russ today. And this is just huge. Oh my goodness. And when you say Russell Wilson and you think vintage Russell Wilson, I think of his moon ball,
Yep.
his
Yep.
deep ball. And that's exactly
Hall
what
of
he did
Famer Russell
on the very
Wilson.
yes, Hall of Famer Russell Wilson. You think of that moon ball and 47 yards in the air at crunch time when it matters most. That's who Russ was for 10
Yeah.
years in Seattle.
All about that showmanship.
Oh, and that's what the Broncos were getting.
Yes.
We thought we were getting. Now, we haven't seen it for the last 18 months, but that's who he was for 10 years. And so this is exactly who he was today, and it felt so good to see.
And it took until the last play. I mean, all the way through, like, it's kind of tough to grade. There were a couple offensive mistakes we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Like, there weren't a
Yeah.
lot of big plays, but there also, I mean, he wasn't making any mistakes. So
Right.
the stage was kind of set.
Yeah.
Just needed that one deep ball, and all of a sudden it's a great day.
Yeah, I feel like throughout the day we were slowly but surely building up to that moment.
Yep.
And he took advantage of it, which is exactly what we want to see from Vintage George. I wish I could see the line of scrimmage for that play. Obviously, from where Zach and I were standing, like, you really can't see much.
Yeah.
Do you want to
But-
tell them what our vantage point was, being in Egypt?
Over in Egypt. Well, we had an entire field.
Yeah, in front of us.
The width of a field.
Yep.
And then we had a bunch of strength coaches and, scouts and folks who were out there. And then we had a whole line of players, which I swear they're told to stand like
I think so.
shoulder to
Of
shoulder.
course.
We fight. Like, I was like, they're a wall, an absolute wall.
Yeah.
So,
And just offensive linemen right there.
offensive linemen, defensive line, everybody
Yeah.
was just all up in my way,
Meanwhile, I stayed behind in like the media section up
Yeah.
on top of the hill.
which is smart.
Only media member who stayed today. The last couple, like there've been like a few who
What a
hang back.
flex.
Yeah,
You were
but
the only
then-
one?
Yeah, but then other people will like come in because I think the security guy even left.
Yeah.
And so like there was the first 2-minute drill for the starters, there was a weird ending to it that I didn't understand. Like I was looking down writing and all of a sudden they're leaving the field. And I like ask around like what happened? And one guy's like 89 was open, and I was like, okay, this isn't going to go great for me. I asked another guy's like, you just can't be asking me for this kind of stuff. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
So when the fans are tweeting from the berm telling us what's actually happening out there, happening
Yeah,
out there,
yeah,
we
yeah.
should be taking that with a grain of salt. Is that what you're telling us,
I
Hank?
think so.
Okay.
But then also, I knew I had as much time as I wanted to write the tweet because there
Yeah.
was no way everybody had all the details of all of those 5 plays in a row that happened.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were some binoculars on the far side, but, like I said, I don't know
though.
how.
I had Ryan Green feed me the information.
I
that's
tweeted
So I
true.
was firing him off.
Yeah,
That's
I do
true.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Where
I
was
did.
Ryan?
He was next to you, I thought.
No, he wasn't up there.
He was somewhere. I don't know where he was.
Where was
Now-
Ryan?
Where was Ryan? Speaking of people that we saw today, want to give a shout out to some awesome people that we met out at training camp practice. Speaking of the fans, Thad, shout out to Thad and his wife. His wife's actually a big fan of the show. He comes up to me and goes, are you the one that does the show? My wife loves the show.
But he
I'm
doesn't.
not a Broncos fan. I think he's a Bucks fan
Wow.
or something like
Shout
that.
out Thad's wife.
Shout out to Thad's wife. Shout out to Eric and Brandon, who we both met. It was awesome to meet you guys. And if you're at training camp and you see us, make sure to come say hi. If you're just out and about and we're out and about, say hi to us. We would
Always say
love
hi.
to say hi. And Alexis wants to say hi as
Yes.
well.
I always want to
Yeah.
say hi. I know. I feel like people don't come up to me at camp, and I'm like, guys,
Wow.
I
Yeah.
want
was
to
weird.
chat.
Ian Rappaport was walking with like a PR person, and like he was like escorting him like through the whole concourse down the stairs, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be hell for Ian. Nobody said anything to him. I was like, wait, wouldn't people recognize Ian Rappaport? Like
You'd
it seems
think.
like people would come up to him.
Yeah, no, I think maybe this is kind of, this is something that I've heard is cool about like being a famous person or an athlete, whatever, in Denver. I've heard guys say it's really nice being in Denver because when you go out, fans are very respectful. They're not going to come up to you and, interrupt your dinner with your wife or et cetera, et cetera. I wonder if Ian Rappaport just got the full-blown
Maybe.
celebrity treatment
Wow.
from Denver
That could
fans,
be.
which is to leave him be.
Is that why Peyton sticks around?
Probably.
Did you see he was out at Packers training camp this week and he was wearing a Colorado
Colorado
belt?
belt.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it. Just Peyton always making sure he's riding with the Broncos or with Colorado.
I remember during that little, is it 9 days before the Nuggets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
the
was.
finals.
Like a
Played
Tuesday
in
to
the
Thursday
finals.
or something.
Yeah, I remember I was out at dinner one night and there were 4 different guys with their wives in a restaurant down in Cherry Creek.
Huh.
No one came up to them. And I was like, Denver fans, I love you guys. You guys are so respectful. This is so
Saying
great.
that, if I'm out to dinner, definitely come say
Yeah.
hi to me. I would love it.
Yeah.
D-Mac signed an autograph today.
I did see
did.
that.
He
did.
I wonder if he threw it. Like,
Signed an
is it
autograph.
Mac with a C or K?
It's a C.
Is it just
it's a C.
it stops
D-Mac,
there?
Yeah.
Or what if he just goes Darren McKee?
Oh.
Yeah, the full way. Yeah.
Good
Wow.
for D-Mac.
Throw people off. So let's get back to the Broncos and let's
Oh,
go
no.
through Russell Wilson's day because Henry, you're right. If that's an incompletion to Jerry Jeudy and then they have one play left and it's another incompletion and they don't score a touchdown, we're talking about a much different Russell Wilson day, not because he was bad, but he didn't really do much in practice. And we're going to dive into why. Again, the offense let Russ down today, and we're going to dive into those details. But to start, I mean, in the first team period, we'll dive into the details of the other things that happened here. But the first team period, Russ maybe didn't even throw the ball in that team period. If he did, it was a 1-yard pass to Greg Dulcich. So nothing awful there, but obviously he didn't light the world on fire there.
And Josie probably would have sacked him on that play.
Yep. And then they did red zone from the 15 going in, and Russ was sharp. His very first play, batted ball at the line of scrimmage. It was either Nick Bonito or Zach Allen. I wasn't able to see who it was.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Either of you?
I thought it was Zach Allen.
Zach Allen?
Yeah.
It was probably Zach Allen.
I thought Zach Allen.
Batted ball, Zach Allen. Just mini JJ
agree.
Watt.
You did it.
You did it, the great Henry.
See,
You're
I had
living up to your nickname.
99 or 42 with the 99
I
circled.
had just 99. I didn't even
Wow.
phase me.
Never
Yeah,
had a doubt.
It probably definitely was 99. And then 3 straight completions for Russ. And again, they're working from the 7, then the 5, then they're practicing a 2-point conversion. They were all completions. The first 2 where it wasn't a 2-point conversion, they were completions, not touchdowns. Maybe a sack by Jonathan Cooper on one of them, but still completions. You like to see it from Russell Wilson, especially in short territory where there's not much field to work with. And then the final one of that was a nice boot touchdown, I guess 2-point conversion pass where Samaje Perine wide open.
Yeah.
A defensive breakdown, good play call from Sean Payton. But still, I mean, Russ was good. He did what was asked. Nothing incredible. And then the next period, which we'll dive into, wasn't Russ's fault, but he certainly didn't do anything special there. So, I mean, really, everything of practice boiled down for Russ to that final 51 seconds. And he did it. He came through in the clutch.
It was clutch. And you're right. You know, looking at my notes, I see a lot of really good moments out of Russ, classic stuff that we want to see from him. That 2-point conversion was actually really impressive. That was, I think we kind of just blazed past that right now. And that was a good play.
Yeah.
And I know it's a good play design by Sean Payton.
I agree.
but
It was a good play design.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't give him
Why are
much...
we blowing by this?
Samaje was 7 yards open,
Okay.
maybe.
You have to only be medium open to be super impressive.
Yeah. Zach's like tough to impress. Zach's tough to impress.
He is.
I just like anybody crossing the goal line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
and
fair.
that was pretty nice.
It was
fair.
like a play action to
had-
the right, but it's like an outside run, and Samaje's kept running. And because they're like, oh, he doesn't have the ball, they just left him, and then he's like, Russ dropped it over the top to him.
Yeah.
On that Jonathan Cooper possible hit, I mean, I had like a full blown sack written down
Yeah,
on
me
3rd
too.
and 5.
I did
I mean,
too.
that was not a
I
play.
think
A lot of
Jonathan
sacks
Cooper
again.
would have
Lot
a
of
lot of sacks. And this time it didn't really feel like Russ's fault. And let's dive into these to tell
Okay.
people what was going on. But first, I got to tell you about our friends
Ooh.
over at Factor Meals. My Factor Meals came 2 weeks ago, and oh boy, are they delicious. And Factor Meals, they come fresh, not frozen. It only takes 2 minutes to warm up. And I got to tell you, the variety that they have, something like you can choose from over 34 weekly different meals, which is just awesome to have. They also have smoothies, which come frozen, and then you put them in your fridge, and then you can drink them. So they've got everything from keto to calorie smart, vegan, veggie, protein plus, so literally all over the map, whatever your diet is. Factor is going to hook you up. Plus, they have 45 add-ons, including breakfast items like delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, anything you can think of. Factor's got it. And if you want 50% off, go to factormeals.com/DNVR Broncos 50. That's factormeals.com/DNVR Broncos 50. I'm definitely going to use this because I loved my experience with Factor. So check them out, factormeals.com/DNVR 50 for 50% off.
Alexis, what's the best part of a ski trip?
Oh.
See if we can get it. There's a chance this is gonna work.
He is leading you to fail right
on.
now.
I'm
Alexis.
best
calling my
part of
shot.
it-
Best part.
I mean, après ski, the bar.
Let's go. That's why Breckenridge Distillery, their
I'm
hashtag
impressed.
operate anywhere, so that you can take the best part
Wow.
of that ski trip and have it anywhere. You don't have to go skiing. I'm so happy that worked.
That was very
I felt pretty good
impressive.
about that too. Yeah,
I thought you were going to lead her all the way to Breckenridge Distillery.
that would have
Somehow,
been.
slowly
Yeah.
but surely. I mean, as someone who has frequented Breckenridge Distillery,
yeah.
I'm a huge fan, but no, I didn't know where you were going with that. So that was just
Yeah,
lucky.
it
Yeah,
worked.
that was great.
That's chemistry. It's not lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's true.
pure chem.
We now have some. They're not seltzers. They're canned cocktails from Breckenridge Distillery down in
Yeah.
the bar. They're called Riki, Riki, and the tequila one is really, really good.
Did you have one last night?
Not last night. Oh, UFC fights a week ago, a full week ago. These camp
Full-
weeks go so fast.
They do go fast.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But remember, you're tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Right before the show started, Henry was complaining about how tired he is.
I wasn't complaining.
He
I was
was.
just. It was more of a warning.
Your energy's been
It's
good.
okay. You've been fine.
Yeah.
It's like you had 2 lattes today.
Wow.
I appreciate
Fired up.
that.
Oh,
You're fired
Sean.
up.
I wonder what that's actually code for. But Breckenridge Distillery is awesome. They have a Broncos whiskey.
probably code for Breckenridge
We have it right
Distillery.
there. That could be. That could be. Right there on set. They've won all sorts of different awards. They started in 2008. Obviously, in Breckenridge, it's the world's highest distillery. It's a Colorado company. But you can actually pick up their products in 50 different states. That's all the states. So shop your local retailer or visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com for home delivery of award-winning Breckenridge spirits.
Awesome. Let's dive into some not so awesome things because Russ was awesome.
Russ was awesome.
But there were some not awesome things that happened in practice.
And Vanessa's going to blow us up.
Is Russ?
Oh, no.
Oh, is Vanessa? We
Vanessa,
haven't
why
said
do you
anything
people
bad.
keep bashing Russell Wilson every day?
I
You
hope
do
it-
know that. Well, Vanessa, like we're out there, and we know that he doesn't care about our opinions. We're aware, wholeheartedly aware
Yes.
that he's not watching and doesn't care what anybody says about him. But we do have to give you the facts. This is what we see.
Russell Wilson did quote tweet DNVR Broncos yesterday, so maybe he is actually
Really?
watching.
what'd he
What'd
say?
Yeah. You guys didn't see this?
No.
Neither of you? Wow. We put out the what Deion Sanders had to say about Russell Wilson coming and working
Oh, amazing.
up in Boulder, and Russ quote tweeted it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So shout out Russ if you're listening. Hopefully Vanessa's referring to someone else in the comment section, like fans that are upset.
I hope
I
so.
doubt it.
Because today I think we just gave Russell Wilson a Russell Wilson grade,
Yeah.
which is
A
the best
5
grade
out
that
of
you can
5.
give him.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm curious, Vanessa, like, did we say something to
Not a let's ride.
because
not
they
a
want
Jenkins,
drama and
not
clicks.
a-
We don't want drama.
Russell Wilson.
Yay.
Let's go.
All right, we should just keep doing that over and over.
I know. Just the
Do it for a full
you know
hour.
what? Just I like that for the full hour.
Yeah.
Just
You know the fun thing about this
Pause with
too
Polly's
is
over here.
before today, this background noise was like 10 times louder
Yeah.
than we are, so it was blowing people's eardrums out. So if we did 10 times in a row, then it would really blow people's eardrums
Yeah.
out. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
been told by production that they've lowered that
Cool.
volume. But
Thank you.
yeah, Russ was a 5 out of 5 today. We love
He
that.
was. And I've said over and over again, I'm not concerned by what I've seen. I just have to write down what he does during the entire practice and
Yeah.
then repeat it.
It's
I'm
true.
not even throwing that many opinions out there. And
Yeah.
any of them have just been, he'll be better when the season comes because that's when Sean Payton will help.
Where
So.
we had Zach yesterday who was just hovering over the panic
Oh, I'm
button.
No, he
hovering
was
over
hovering.
the panic. But and a big reason is that offensive line.
Yeah.
And the pass protection for
Yeah.
Russ. I think that's the one where my hand is just right over hovering because it was bad again today. It was bad again today. Let's just dive into the team period. Broncos start with a little play to Jerry Jeudy. We're not allowed to get into specifics on that sort of play. And let's just say that this play would have been a loss of yards if it wasn't for 2 defenders just smashing into each other right
Yep.
before
Yeah, that was
tackling Jerry
crazy.
Jeudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like a car accident.
It was
Yeah.
really confusing because I was like watching behind the play and I was like, well, I know Garrett Bowles is over there. There's
Yeah.
no other offensive player that could be throwing a block right there.
Yeah.
How are 2 guys on the ground? And Garrett was having a good day, so I was like, oh, maybe that's what happened. Now I have something to write about. But no, it was K1 and Kareem. Might as
Yeah.
well say it. They just smashed right into each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Big
They
run
did.
for Jerry
And Pat was there to give the little tap to Jerry.
Yeah.
Like, all right, dude.
because
you know.
Cortland kind of like decided not
Yeah,
to
if
block,
they
I
didn't
guess.
kill each other,
Yeah.
you would have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next play, Josie Jewell flies through the middle of the offensive line. I think Josie led up and kind of went to the side of him. I think Russ would have been absolutely donezo in a game. That's the one where then Russ just kind of throws the pass. You said hi to him.
I thought
You
that
saw the
was
comment. No,
happy
that was
medium.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Russ threw the 1-yard pass to Dulcich. I think it would have been a sack, which is bad because the very next play, Alex Singleton would have literally taken off Russ's head if this was a
Yeah.
game. He also flies up the middle, and I believe there was some miscommunication with the running back there.
Yeah, so I didn't see who the running back was, which is bad
Samaje.
on my
It was
part.
Samaje.
It was Samaje for
Yeah.
sure. Awesome. Now I have something for my notes.
Are you ready to bash him? You're that
well,
excited
now
to
it
bash
is
him?
time to bash him. But what happened was Nick Benito was coming around the outside. Bowles is over there blocking him. Samaje comes to help. And so they double team Nick, leaving a big old hole for Alex Singleton, who would have just crushed Russ in a game. So who knows whether that's like supposed to be Bowles takes that edge so that you can fill inside. That's what you usually do. But there's a chance they tweak something. Seems unlikely. It seems like that's probably on Samaje. Also potentially on Russ for not communicating, but now we're just speculating.
Now we're just speculating.
You're not allowed to speculate.
No,
Henry.
I do my best.
Only
not to.
about injuries, actually.
Not in front of Vanessa, that's for sure.
Wow.
Sorry, Vanessa. I feel bad.
So, I mean, I don't think either of those were on Russ's fault. Were on Russ.
No.
Whether
I
it's
don't
the
think
line,
so.
I think it's pass protection is what we can say
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
issue for both of those. But a really bad start because, I mean, if you're talking that was a real game, the Broncos are backed up at like 3rd and 30 with Jarrett Stidham coming into the game probably.
Well, and then what happened on that play, too, was they complete the pass to Albert O, and Josie comes in and just punches the ball out.
Yep.
So that's that. Remember, the play before was the sack from Josie. So you have Josie sack, then you have Alex sack that also was a forced fumble from Josie. Those linebackers were
The
incredible.
Bash Bros are ready to bash.
They're so ready to bash.
Yes,
I'm ready for them
so
to bash
ready.
too.
They're ready to come on this podcast too.
They are too.
Talk to them after practice today. They're ready for it. So
good.
Stay tuned.
That's-
Stay tuned.
That's actually a pretty scary group. Todd better be firmly on our side by the time that happens.
We're gonna go inside with the inside linebackers. How about that? We like that segment.
Could've been
6 out of
better.
10. Yeah.
Could've been
Inside with the inside backers.
Could just be inside with the backers, and that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's
We're-
way better.
We're gonna workshop that
Damn.
one. We'll
Okay.
workshop that.
Okay.
It's okay.
Wow.
We'll get
Okay.
there.
Talk to me later. We'll get it figured out, Zach.
Talk to you.
I have a good
Great
brain
to
for
hear
this.
about
Okay,
it.
you got a good
Yeah,
brain.
Also,
Yes, they're both
The
amazing.
chat
by
said
way.
the volume was still way too loud on that.
I just went back and heard it. It was not loud. I dropped it down to a 10 over here.
Well, you know how much
Okay.
I trust you here on technical issues? There was like a really bad buzzing sound on our show with Todd.
Ooh.
He claims he didn't hear it at all, and we had many complaints saying, "Where's the buzzing sound coming from? Can you turn that off?" And he was like, "I didn't hear it."
No, it's this is the thing.
That's what you told me yesterday.
Yes, because I have a board, and once it processes through YouTube, that's when you can hear the frequency. But you can't hear it through the board. It's different. It's
He said
different
frequency instead of
audio.
buzz, so I
We're
think I
learning.
trust him.
Sounds
smart.
He's getting all technical
I
here.
don't trust anyone.
Okay.
Good call.
Then we talked about that red zone period where Russ hit a couple of passes. Alexis is right. I think Jonathan Cooper sacks Russ on one of those, so protection off again. And that was coming, I believe, from the right side. I don't know if that was a tight end or if it was McGlinchey. Do you remember at all?
I
sack.
want to say it was McGlinchey.
I have McGlinchey.
Bummer.
That is a
Another
bummer.
day. Another backup outside linebacker beating McGlinchey.
Started 14 games in 2 years, so what? That's 7
That's
a
a
season.
backup.
That's less than half.
That's less than half. Don't like to see it. And then we get to just what's worse than dismal?
Abysmal.
Abysmal.
What's
Nice.
worse than abysmal?
Hella abysmal.
What's worse than hella abysmal? How far can we keep going with this?
I don't know. It depends. What are you about to say?
I am running
it's
out.
like straight, like hot garbage. Like,
Yeah, sure. Hot garbage that's already been burned.
okay, wow,
Cooling
this is
off then?
intense.
Awful. This move the ball period. The Broncos had two. Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys know what
What
I'm
is
talking
worse
about.
This
than-
did not start well.
Yeah, this was
at
as
all.
bad as it could be. So the Broncos had two move the ball periods. We already took you through the first one, which was great. The second one. The first one. Do you guys remember how yesterday's move the ball period went?
Yes.
How'd it go? How'd it start? The first one.
Was it a false start?
yes.
It was a false start.
Yep.
Followed by
a false start.
A false start.
followed by
A
hold?
short pass.
a short pass.
Ooh,
Yep.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Followed by a
sorry.
short pass, then followed by
Jonathan Harris tips it up, and then Randy Gregory catches it. And you're just like, oh, at least it's 50-50, like the defense won. But turns out Randy hurt his ankle, so nobody won.
wow, damn. We'll get back to Randy in just a second. So that was pretty bad, right?
Yes.
This one starts off even worse. How can it start off even worse? Well, very first play. So minute 53 left on the clock. Broncos down 3 from their own 25, second quarter. So they need a field goal to tie. Could get a touchdown since it's the second quarter. First play, Alexis,
Holding.
on.
Lloyd Cushenberry.
beep, beep, beep.
First down again, but it's first and 20. Then what happens on second down or first down and 20? False start on.
Garrett Bowles.
Garrett Bowles. So now we wow, the laugh track.
Don't
was
laugh
that
track
necessary?
it. No.
Jeez.
No.
He
Don't
thinks
laugh
it's
track.
funny. Are you the Chiefs fan you here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get out of here.
I've been a Broncos fan
We need a
so
new
long.
producer.
It's all right.
There should be a new job posting on DNVR later for a new
Wow.
producer.
Yes.
Wow. Alexis
Brutal.
firing
Yes.
you here.
I know.
We need more firings around
Holding the
here.
false start was just rough.
Now, 1st and 25.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens? Incomplete pass.
That's right.
Then 2nd and 25. They need to do something here. So they throw a little 7-yard pass to Javonte Williams, who stays in bounds. That's not what you need. You need more than 7 yards. You need to get the hell out of bounds. 3rd and 18. This one was close.
Yeah. So what happened was Marquez
What happened
Callaway.
was-
Sorry. Marquez ran up like the left sideline, broke out, and Jaquan was like a step behind him. Marquez caught it. And was he out of bounds? Is that what happened?
That's what the ref said. The refs
Really?
met at the spot, talked about it, then went incomplete.
Ugh.
Yep.
I was writing in my notes like, wow, what a great play. It was not though.
And then you scribbled it out.
And so then after that would have been 4th and 18.
That's correct. Yeah.
And they didn't even get to try it, right?
It would have been a punt because it was the end of
Because
the first
it's-
half.
Oh, okay.
So, but disastrous, I think you could say.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even after what they did on the very next series where they went and scored a touchdown walk-off, I asked Sean Payton after practice, I said, how encouraging was it to get that big touchdown? And he pretty much just said, like, yeah, it was fine, but, like, the period before was just so awful that as encouraging as that is, the period before was just as discouraging.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, that's the word.
Yep. Thank
It was
you. I
a
messed that
wash.
word up earlier. Yeah, he said it was a wash essentially. And I think the players are all ecstatic about how it ended. The media was finally giving Russ the praise that they've wanted to give him for so long. And Sean's just like, 1 for 2, but the penalties still are awful.
Yeah.
And that's just how bad it was and how frustrating that is for a coach who probably, not just for 10 days of camp, but probably the last 6 months has been preaching to his guys, no more penalties.
Russ did throw a great ball on that 3rd and 18 too.
That's true. Yep. And it would have been for 20 yards, I think.
Yeah, 20 on a 3rd and 18.
Yep.
That was a good throw.
Yeah, it was. And Marquez Callaway, his left foot or one of his feet must have just been out because it was very close from my angle.
Yeah. Again, I was asking the fans, which our listeners would have known exactly what happened, but they were saying like, yeah, it looked like it might have been penalty. And I was like, well, they would have thrown a flag.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad we have an explanation now. He
Yep.
was out of bounds.
Yep, just an incomplete pass. The offense let Russ down again.
Yep.
So much pressure, too many penalties, and this is just something that we continue to see. Now, before yesterday, Russ was not good in this training camp. He had like one okay day where I think we gave him a 3, but Russ hasn't been good. And now Russ is starting to feel it these last 2 days, stacking days on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yet the rest of the offense is like, nah, we're not ready for that.
I think what you mentioned earlier is actually the most concerning thing about the offense right now is just the pass protection. Russell, I think of last year and just how many times we saw Russ on his back, just zero protection whatsoever. It kind of reminds me of like old school David Carr, Houston Texans, just getting obliterated left and right. Like that was last year. And this year, right now in practice, it's not looking significantly better like we were hoping. And especially for somebody like Russell Wilson, who plays the kind of football that he plays, he's in the pocket for a second or two and then he starts to scramble. Like, you need somebody who can protect him. And I'm just a little concerned right now. I'm not panicked yet because I think we have to give Mike. I don't know if I'm hovering yet either.
Okay, I like that.
I just like it's front of mind.
Uncomfortable.
I'm like, ooh, like I don't love this right now. But Mike McGlinchey, I think, is a perfect example of someone. He came in late for camp.
Yeah.
He wasn't around the whole time. So he's a few days behind the rest of the guys. Lloyd, no excuse for him today. Garrett Bowles doesn't look quite ready to be out there.
Yeah.
Coming back from a crazy injury, though. He blew up his leg. So, I think we need to be patient with that. But, yeah, just as a whole, I think pass protection is probably what I'm most concerned about right now. Not even so much Russell Wilson. Does that
Definitely.
make sense?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And now some of these, like the first 2 sacks we talked about, where inside linebackers are coming up the middle. That's communication, and that absolutely can get better throughout training camp, throughout the preseason, throughout the season even. But especially on that play where Samaje's in there, you're talking about a new left guard, a new left tackle, and a new running back, all on the same side, all not understanding what to do. So that is something that can easily get fixed by tomorrow, by week 1. So that's encouraging.
Yeah.
But the things that aren't encouraging are just Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper flying around Garrett Bowles, flying around Mike McGlinchey. You hope that Garrett Bowles still isn't 100%, and he will be 100% soon. You hope that's the case because, Alexis, you're right. I'm really concerned with where the tackles are.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Hank?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Bowles did some nice things in like the 1-on-1s and the 2-on-1s. Especially there were a couple like here they are. He beat up Nick Bonito. He beat up Jonathan Cooper.
And so there's nice
stuff like that. No, but he was like mauling those guys, and I saw that and I was like, oh my goodness, what a great start. He had a great block on a run. I think it was Jaleel McLaughlin who had the longest run of the day again, like he often does.
Yeah.
But then they gave up the sack toward the end. He had there was one other mistake in there. I couldn't tell if he got called for the hold at the end.
Oh, I couldn't tell that either. Yeah.
Somebody got called for a hold, and that's when Bonito got around him. So it's kind of up and down.
I know we talk about this a lot, but you mentioned Nick Bonito. He does look good. He looks really good. He looks far more mature this year. I just feel like it's like a night and day difference in his game of like confidence on the field, which I think is going to prove dividends.
Yeah, and got to give credit where credit's due. I think he's put in the work this offseason because one of the things that I saw him do was the 3rd day of the draft this year. So the end of April, when the guys are in a couple of days a week to do some offseason stuff, Nick Bonito was in there on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m., just working out in the field house with one other player. And that's putting in the work because I guarantee you there were no Broncos things going on that day because the coaching staff was just focused on the draft. So he's clearly put in the work, and so far it's either really encouraging because he's doing well or pretty scary because that means Mike McGlinchey is not very good. I'm going to take the optimistic side and say that Nick Bonito's.
I just think he's had a big leap this year.
Yep.
This has been a leap year, I will call that, for Nick Bonito.
A leap year. That one extra day of training. Now
There it
he's
is.
ready.
That did it for him.
I think he's going to have a sack against the Cardinals.
I
wish I could bet on that because I'm confident.
Oh,
he's
you
going
would
to
take
have
the
one.
Broncos in something? That's so nice of you.
I'm taking the Broncos in everything except for the games against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
I feel like
at
that's
all.
very
It's fine.
optimistic.
Loser
Maybe
mentality.
I guess the Bills game. I'll probably take the Bills.
Wow.
But I shouldn't dig another grave for myself.
Yeah, you are. Now you're a
Okay.
Bills fan too. Jeez, why don't you just...
Just love
Yeah,
Josh
boo.
Allen.
We
Yep.
need to pick ourselves up
hate this
out
guy.
of this rut that Henry just put us in. And
Sorry.
Palisade Peach from Breckenridge Brewery will for sure do that. Palisade Peach. When you think of summer, you think of a light beer and you think of Palisade Peaches. Put them together, boom. You've got a fantastic beer. Palisade Peach from Breckenridge Brewery is amazing. And you can get that over at the DNVR bar. We've got it on tap. We've got so many Breckenridge beers on tap. And if you can't make it to the bar, go to breckbrew.com to find their beer locator. And you can not only find Breckenridge Brew, but you can find exact Breckenridge brews over on their website. Check them out, breckbrew.com, the official beer of DNVR.
And if that's not quite strong enough, or if you want like a mix, which people make that face about, then you can hit up Kind Love, because if you go to a Kind Love store either in North Denver or in Cherry Creek, you can get 25% off in-store purchases with the code DNVR. Kind Love is a farm-to-table dispensary, which means that they breed their own genetics, they control the grow process, they control the packaging, and then they sell it at their own stores as well. They've got a bunch of cool products, including the Turbo Core, which is a 100 milligram stick that looks exactly like a toothpick. It's full of full-spectrum cannabis concentrate that's designed with a pointed tip, so you can easily slide it into any joint, blunt, or cigarette to instantly infuse it. It's also vegan, natural, and there's no chemical processing whatsoever. You're laughing at me.
That's what happens when you take Kind Love. You laugh.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? What you said earlier about Breckenridge Distillery?
Yeah.
The Riki.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to go into like a kind love read.
Oh.
That's what I was like, Riki sounds like something you would
It
smell.
does.
It does.
You're right.
You know?
It does.
They've probably got a Riki line over
Yeah,
there.
you could probably have like a Riki with a turbo core and have a great night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here's breaking it out again just to
Oh,
show
boy.
you that
he loves show and
Oh,
tell.
he's gonna
he
show us?
visits Kind Love.
There's
Looks
There's
like
the turbo
looks like
core.
Star Wars.
it's
So
very
what do you do
intense.
with it? You here? Can you show us?
Not on
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, probably best not to.
It's an awesome product though, and like I said, if you go to one of the Kind Love stores, either in Cherry Creek or North Denver, you mentioned DNVR, you'll receive the DNVR exclusive discount of 25% off all Kind Love flour, pre-rolls, and their turbo joint line. Visit their website at kindlove.com for their full extensive menu and online ordering.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
How much of a discount, or that's not the right word. How much of a break, here we go, do we give the defense? They didn't have Justin Simmons for pretty much all the team periods.
Clark.
Frank Clark, Randy Gregory. Who else am I missing?
Pat Surtain?
Pat
No,
was out there.
Pat was out there
No.
for the final
Not-
team period.
No, he was not out there.
Pat Surtain.
You know what? You have better eyes.
I
you
actually
have,
do.
Oh
Yeah.
that was
no!
Jaquan
When
out there.
you said Pat Surtain, that made me a little nervous.
Why?
Was Sean doing like
Yes.
the offense needs a confidence boost thing? So we're going to hold back our two best players on defense, which is Russell Wilson, which is Pat Surtain and Justin Simmons. We're going to hold back one of the best pass rushers, or the two best pass rushers, Frank Clark and Randy Gregory. Oh man, was this that? That's my question.
The good news is you play the Raiders week 1.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
this defense is still much better than the Raiders. Max Crosby's good, but the rest of it. I mean, what did Sean say about Justin not practicing today? Or team drills?
So he was asked about Justin and Randy at the same point, and this is when he brought up that Randy tweaked his ankle when he got
Yep.
that interception, which just sends scared shockwaves
Wow.
through
Today's
Broncos
been a tough
country.
day for you.
I think every
Those are
day
the
is a
best
tough
days.
day when it comes to talking for me, and you made me lose my concentration.
What a good
which
day
is
for
Rolled up
talking.
ankle.
sad shockwaves went through Broncos
That's
country when we found out that Randy Gregory tweaked an ankle. Hopefully he's back out there on Monday and it's no big deal. And then he kind of just mixed that in with Justin Simmons. He didn't say what was going on with Justin Simmons, but he said both those guys just kind of got an off day. We're being cautious with them.
So when those guys get an off day and the offense is struggling, that's a good day to also just say like, hey, Pat, why don't you sit out these 2-minute drills and just build a little confidence for the offense.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to put like a little asterisk on my Jerry Jeudy touchdown today. But if it's sounding like we have to, but I don't.
We're talking about potentially the 4 best players on defense
We are.
sitting out.
Shut up, okay?
I didn't even realize this. Hank was the one that pointed it out.
We saw Randy Gregory working on the side. So we knew that he wasn't going to be in there. Frank Clark, not sure what's going on with him. Expected to be back on Monday, so we'll figure that out. I mean, with Pat Surtain being out on that play, I didn't know that's why Damari was on.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, though, is like Pat and Damari would have been the corners.
Totally.
And it could have just been Damari on that side still. Maybe it's Pat on that side.
So who was
and
opposite Damari?
Jaquan McMillan.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the side that the pass was thrown is Pat's side.
There's that. You just don't know. Here's my thing. Russ has been going up against a really, really good defense for the entire camp, and we haven't given him much benefit of the doubt. Like when we're just saying like good day, bad day, 1 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't given him much benefit of the doubt. And so you can't hold this too much against him when we've kind of set that standard.
Yeah, I'm not holding it against him, or else I wouldn't have given him a Russell Wilson.
That's true.
Grade. But it is just something like, okay, when Justin and Pat are back out there, can Russ put together another good day? Doesn't have to be another great day, but can he have another good day? Put a 4 on this, a Mr. Unlimited day. Mr. Unlimited. Can he do that again?
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
I think
need
we're going to see it Monday.
Good. Man, and that would be 3 good days in a row.
I think he's heating up. I think he's back, baby.
Dare you say cooking?
He's He's getting the pots out of the cupboard and putting water in it. Like he's about to start cooking.
Is he getting the horse out of the stable so he
is.
can ride?
No, that is dead.
No?
That is over.
Is it dead? Because you know what I noticed last night, Alexis? It's still in his bio on Twitter. Let's
That's
ride.
okay.
It's still there. I thought once he got on the podium and just said, go Broncos, it was over. But I think he might still have it waiting to be brought out. What about like they beat the Cardinals 24-21 in the preseason and
It's
he
a
breaks it
preseason
out?
game. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, he can't do it then.
That would be hilarious.
No.
That would be.
He goes like 6 for 6 for like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Says, let's ride. That'd be incredible.
It really would be.
Zach, you are wrong. It's no longer there.
Pull up Instagram. Sorry, that's what I meant. Let's see.
Instagram, not Twitter.
Wow.
Let's see if it's there. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and I need to apologize.
That'd be kind of fun.
If I'm wrong, because it
Yeah.
never happens. Let's pull up Instagram. Let's do that. As you're here's pulling that up, any other notes that you guys want to talk about today?
Let me open my notebook.
Yeah. Isaiah
my
Prince.
handy dandy.
Isaiah Prince had a great day. And he's had a couple of great days now. I don't think I saw him get beat all day, which is rare for the tackles so far. I've kind of just assumed Cam Fleming's the third tackle. Cam has had a couple of rough days. So that might be a real competition. Is that what you expected me to say?
No, I'm truly asking for
Okay.
your comments. The great Hank, I want to know what you got to say.
Okay, I'll find some more stuff in here. Marcus Haynes made a couple more plays. Kyle Fuller, not having a great camp.
We're not talking about the cornerback.
No, we are not.
Talking about the guard.
Who got called for holding in one-on-ones on Travis Incoom, who hasn't made a whole lot of plays. But just in general, rough day for Kyle Fuller as well, which again, a lot of competition, interior offensive line. Who knows where he fits into that?
And Hank, I'm sorry, I didn't set this segment up right. I meant to say, let's check in with back of the roster Hank here for the updates. And every update you give me is back of the roster.
I like that though.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he's
out
our
of you.
expert.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
Because you know one of these guys or a few of these guys are gonna make the team. They're
Yes.
gonna make the final 53. So it's nice that we get to hear their names
Yeah.
a little bit
Yes.
earlier in camp instead of like, oh snap,
Exactly.
can you believe he made the team?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Drew Sanders, who will make the team, he actually tackled Michael Bandy on a jet sweep. Like, and it was one of those where he's just so big, there's nothing he like. If he grabs him, guy just goes to the ground. He's too big and strong.
Not only did he tackle him, do you see how he tackled him?
So woo.
No.
Is that what you saw?
Yeah, no. It was a I have the quote right here. It was a horse collar tackle.
Oh, okay.
No, a clothesline tackle.
That sounds better.
And better? He still
Well, I mean-
he clotheslined his own teammate.
But
And when he got up, his coach, you know what his coaches told him?
don't clothesline people.
Don't hurt people.
Probably don't do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it.
That's
Yeah.
the thing, though, is like
Yeah.
he's just so big, you
Yeah.
stick an arm out. Michael Bandy's going down.
That's true. Speaking of Drew Sanders, do you remember at rookie minicamp when Sean
Yes.
Payton joked with us, but it was not a joke, that he had a $50 gift card up for grabs for the
Oh, yeah.
rookie that has that gives the interview with the least amount of quotes, like the rookie
Usable
that
quotes.
says the least to us. That was real. And Drew Sanders won that, and he was proud of it. He smiled when asked about it.
He could have won
today.
that again today
He could have won that again today. It was a $50 gift card. So, Alexis, you were there.
to PF Chang's.
To P.F. Chang's.
They have some of the best wonton soup ever, by the
Really?
way. Yeah, I love PF Chang's.
If Ryan was here, he'd say no free ads.
No free.
Oh.
No
Yeah,
free ads.
he'd be very
Sorry,
disappointed in you.
But it was a $50 gift card. To PF
You
Chang's.
go to PF
Ask
Chang's.
Drew Sanders.
If you go PF Chang's because we said that, tell us, and then we can get them as a partner.
Yeah, that's
true.
a good
To
call.
be completely fair, RK gives free ads to almost anybody that he thinks.
It's
Exactly.
100% right. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're
And
just
I have,
yanking your chain.
I have the Instagram.
Let's see it.
Ooh,
Let's ride,
Let's
baby.
ride.
First thing in the bio.
horse heart.
Horse orange heart.
Blue heart.
Yeah.
That's the old
yeah.
blue too.
Oh, so it's been there for a
Oh.
while. So maybe he
Maybe.
just hasn't updated. Maybe he doesn't go on Instagram anymore.
I don't think he
It's
probably
not true.
runs his
He
own
posts all the
Instagram.
time.
Probably not.
You guys, do you think Russell Wilson runs his own Instagram?
Too many posts come out during practice.
Exactly. Like he's not running his own Instagram. Like
Including
straight up.
yesterday. There was some drama with the media about tweeting during practice,
Yes.
and so we were very aware of who was tweeting during practice. And then
Russell
in the middle
Wilson?
of this drama about the media tweeting, Russell Wilson just starts tweeting as he's on the field.
Yep.
And it's like, I guess we're not allowed to tweet, but Russ can from the field. But he wasn't actually tweeting from the field.
This is an interesting take. I have ice in my mouth. Sorry. From Drew Allen. I got to go back to this. I wouldn't be mad at Sanders and Jewell as starters.
Yeah, I had a crazy feeling a few days ago. It was right when I found out about the Todd Davis thing, and so I was like going back and like looking through Todd Davis, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he got like cut before the last year of his contract, and
Yeah.
it was like a huge surprise, and I was like, wait, that could be Josie, and I didn't think that they should do it, and I didn't think they did do it or would do it, but when you think about that room with Josie, they can save $5 million. They're probably not bringing him back next year, just given the situation. You've got Alex on a big deal. You've got Jonas Griffith playing well. Drew Sanders, obviously. They could have kind of considered that at the time. Now that they lose Jonas,
100%.
like Sanders really needs to go out and earn that job, and he hasn't really given us any reason to think that he will right away.
It's interesting to see Sanders and Jewell as starters when Alex Singleton has led the team in tackles for the last.
And
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Led
be
all of his teams since he was with the Eagles in
Exactly.
tackles.
It
So-
would not be Jewell. It would be Singleton.
Yeah.
It'd be Sanders and Singleton.
The other thing, though, is that like Josie's kind of the brains back there.
He
Which
is.
is not obviously shot at Alex. Alex is awesome.
Let's clip
But-
that. Let's play
We're
that
gonna
when
send that
Alex
to
is
Alex.
on next
Yeah.
time.
Honestly, my best move
He's the green dot.
might be just like
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like ponying up with Josie so that he's on my side and I don't lose both of them.
I'll just get Todd
You can't be
and
over two.
Alex on my side then.
It's dangerous if they both don't like me. But Josie's the one who's like, hey, I think this is like a run to the left. I think it's a run to the right. Like, hey, look at this. And so there is that aspect of it as well that I wonder. Those two are a great team, and I think that that's a big piece of it.
Yeah, if they want to save $5 million, they can, but that would certainly not be a win now move. And
Yep.
the Broncos are kind of they're not afraid to spend money this year and take that salary cap down close to zero. So it wouldn't really make sense with everything else they've done.
Definitely.
But
And-
next year it does make sense
Yeah.
to move on from
Yeah,
Josie and
for
save
this
that
year.
money if Drew steps up.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
though.
And if Jonas was healthy, I could see how they could convince themselves. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so sad about
Also,
Jonas.
today at practice was Friday because Elliott Fry took all the kicks. Pretty good, yeah. I thought that was a good one.
Love
yeah,
it
'cause
and
it's
hate
actually
it all at the
Saturday.
same time.
But yeah, there was that one period where Elliott Fry just took every kick, and he hit from, I had his 36, but I didn't get real no in that one. But then he hit from 38, hit from 40, hit from 43, then hit from 48, hit from 50, missed from 53, hit from 55. And it made me wonder if he's taking all those kicks, if he had made all those kicks, and if like he did make the kick at the end, which was the first. Which team drill was that? He made a long one. There was like was it the second teamers? It must have been the second team offense in their version of the first 2-minute drill.
Right. Where they're down 3.
Yep, they
Yep.
wound up with the field goal attempt, and Fry hit that one as well.
Yep.
If he had just made them all, I wonder if he might get some new competition other than Brett Maher tomorrow.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but that's another thought that crossed my mind.
I think Brett Maher is the best that they're going to get at this point.
I don't know who else is out there, but that could be true.
You want to
for
take
sure.
Elliott Fry winning this job?
No,
I'll get Brett Maher?
definitely not.
Sounds like you're making that argument.
No, I mean he missed a kick. If he would have made all the kicks, I thought, because we can't say the worst things that have happened to both those kickers because yesterday,
Tough.
but
We'll
it does
say
make
that.
me
I
wonder.
wasn't there. Somebody's gonna tell me off camera.
Yeah, we'll talk after. But it does make me wonder, since Sean said he wants to bring in some more kickers and there's probably going to be more players involved, if maybe we're getting to the point where one of those guys is going to move on and we might see some new competition. Just a thought.
Yeah, potentially. And I think it's Elliott. I think he's going to fry himself out of here.
Between the two of you with your dad jokes, I'm totally with Drew on this.
What's he
You guys are
saying?
just-
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
with
Hank,
that.
with the
I'm with
dad
that.
jokes.
All right, Hank.
Okay.
Stop it. Yeah.
I was just
Boo.
hoping Drew wasn't the guy who said she looks bored of them.
I know.
That was a while ago.
For what it's worth, I'm not
goodness.
bored.
Wow.
Because when you said I'm with Drew,
I'm
I was
not-
like, oh, please don't be that guy.
Oh no,
Maybe we need
I'm
some.
not bored.
Maybe we need some fresh talent in here. Hank, you're out.
We keep trying this.
Yeah.
Do I really look that bored? I'm not bored at all.
I didn't
I'm
think you looked
intrigued.
bored.
Sometimes I'm just intrigued by you guys, and I actually just lock eyes. I'm like, wow.
Alexis, do you want to tell us about Backus and Schenker?
You know what?
Will that make you unbored?
I would. With Backus and Schenker, all you have to do is smash the 2.
Boom.
Wow.
222, 222. Wait, 222. Just all the 2s, 7 2s.
Until your phone just starts ringing.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
you'll,
you know.
You'll get connected with Backus and Schenker real quick.
If you need to sue, smash the 2. That's 222-2222. ColoradoLaw.net. Auto accident. Anything injury related accident. So auto, bus, pedestrian, ride share, football player comes and hits you. Call our friends over at Backus and Schenker at 222-2222. They serve all of Colorado. So give them a call. They will help you. You don't have to pay them for a free consultation. You don't have to pay them as they work on your case for free. You only pay them when they win for you, and they've won over $1 billion in cases. $1 billion. So check them out, ColoradoLaw.net, or smash the 222-2222.
Billion with a B. And I just want to point out, so if I run into, on accident, the Compete Street sign,
Oh, yeah.
do I call Backus and Schenker?
Oh, absolutely.
Would they be able to handle that
I
for
think
me?
so.
Yeah, because they have the padding on the Compete Street sign now, but probably not right at the foot area. So kick it, break
I don't
your toe.
think it's thick enough. Like if I was running full speed and not looking, I think if I hit it, there could be some serious damage.
That's probably why it's there, is for players.
totally.
Yeah,
They were-
It's
probably.
100% for
I
players.
thought it was for media.
No, it's 100% for players. It's right on this.
Yeah.
It's right on the sideline.
There's a tent with poles that we all stand under for like 2 hours.
It
every
has
day.
nothing to do
There's
with
like
us.
weave in or out. They don't need
Yeah.
to cover
like
that
that.
pole.
I
You're
like that you
right.
just realized that the world does not revolve around the
Well,
media.
it's in our little media box.
Yeah.
thing.
That's just ironic placement.
Yeah, that is. It is weird placement.
I feel like
Yeah.
they should have put it on the other side of
Yeah.
the doors.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Attention to detail.
I'll
Attention
call
to
Chip
detail.
Conway
Yeah,
and
you should.
ask him where.
Have it moved
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
for
you.
sure.
Wow.
I'm on it. Chip.
Oh, Henry, you're dropping the
Sorry,
ball.
sorry.
Wow.
You're
come
talking so
on.
naturally. It doesn't feel like an ad.
Jeez.
So I've had a rough couple of days. We did the podcast here on Thursday.
That's
no,
the one
Wednesday.
day we didn't do it here.
We did it on Wednesday,
Yep.
and I left my sunglasses here. And so then, how did this work? Thursday.
You went to the one on Rhino and you left them in Rhino.
Yes. After I got them on Thursday. No, I got them on Friday.
All we need to know is Hank is forgetful and he left
Yeah,
his glasses.
I've lost them two different
Thank you,
places.
Alexis.
I haven't been able to wear them to two different practices, and it really, really sucked. Today I had them again. I actually left them in my car so I wouldn't bring them in here and forget them again.
Smart.
And it's a total game changer. Because like when I didn't have them, I was trying to look through my binoculars more. Because I thought like, well, I can either stand here like this or I can just hold my binoculars up. Might as well
How'd that
see
work
what's
out?
going on over there. It lasted about 15 minutes before I just started doing this all day. And
Yeah, the
that was
sailor.
awful. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The
Sunny
sailor.
sailor.
Yep. I'm
Got
just
it.
standing there like that. But yeah, today was just incredible.
If only
I
had some
could-
shady rays.
True.
They're awesome. I was just like looking all over the place, wasn't squinting at all. I wasn't worried about like standing in the sun or standing in the shade because I've been kind of like trying to get in the shade when I could before. Shady Rays are just awesome. And if you buy 2 or more pairs, you can actually get half off. So go to shadyrays.com and buy 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses because over 250,000 people have given them 5 stars.
It's a lot.
That's incredible.
They
That's
can't
a
be
lot.
wrong. They can't be wrong. Use the code DNVR.
Alexis, Hank really needed you there. He was a lost animal in the wild,
Forgot
and you led him to water not once, but twice.
Really?
And he eventually started drinking the water
Yeah.
and got to the
That's what I'm here
important
for.
things.
That's what I'm here for. I was wondering at what point do I get reads texted to me that I have to read on the show?
Do you want them?
Oh.
I mean, I would like to test
All right.
out my
Next
skills.
time you're up. Next time you're up.
I feel like Backus and Schenker has to be my first one.
Backus and Schenker.
I feel like
Okay.
I have a weird bond with Backus and Schenker just with my love of the Smash the Two. So I'd really love to do that. But
and they're good guys. We met them.
I've never met the Backus and Schenker team.
Yeah, they actually came here.
Oh, I'd love to see them. Come
Yeah.
come back. Come
They-
back, Backus and Schenker.
Yeah, they look like they do in person.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Shall we jump into some comments on the website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should.
What'd you guys get thrown off
Just
by?
right.
Henry, or yeah, here. Any comments on the super chats?
Super chat.
Sean coming in. He says, "Hey guys, just wanted to ask if there's any truth to the Josh Jacobs, Dalvin Cook rumors. Also, anyone going to the Broncos preseason game versus the Niners? That one's out in San Francisco, so we will not
Santa
be going
Clara.
for that one.
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara,
True.
you're right. California, I should say.
It's literally like as far away from San Francisco as you can imagine.
So weird. They should just be the Santa Clara 49ers.
I
Yeah.
hope that doesn't happen here.
Oh, what? Move us out to the airport?
Like the airport
Yeah, the
Broncos or
Aurora
something.
Broncos.
Yeah, the Aurora Broncos.
Yeah.
The DEN Broncos.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
go
not
DIA.
DIA anymore?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, we'd love to.
I don't know.
Thanks, you here.
Whenever so you guys do something bad, instead of booing, I'm just gonna throw a flag now. Every time.
Oh, wow.
And then
That's
You're
good.
You're quite the multitasker.
Is there
buddy.
is there a
Well, he
sound
did
to
do his
it?
first
I can
job
if
with
you
the-
want to. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
What's the sound?
Okay.
That is
This
fun.
is good.
It looks like Alexis's dress.
I know, it kind of does. I look like a flag today.
Throw Alexis.
Throw Alexis across the screen.
Just has
Josh,
to run across the screen.
I'm going to go back to our super, what is it called? Super comment?
Super chat.
Super chat?
Super comment. I
The
like
Josh
that.
Jacobs, Dalvin
Yes.
Cook.
Good idea.
I would be down,
For which one?
Josh.
Oh yeah. So what's this rumor we're talking about? This morning, Pro Football Talk dropped an article that said there's 5 possibilities for Josh Jacobs. It's like stay with the Raiders by signing a new 1-year deal,
Boo.
staying with the Raiders by signing his franchise tag, sitting out all season but not playing because he's still under control with the Raiders.
Yep.
The Raiders just decide to trade him to someone, or there's another option where the Raiders just pull the franchise tag for him and say, peace, you're a free agent, and he can sign with anyone. And in this article, it kind of hinted that there's maybe a little steam picking up to option 5,
Interesting.
which would just be wild to lose. What'd you do?
I'm just smacking myself. I'm sorry.
You smashed
It would
him
be
too?
wild. I didn't smash it too. I just smashed myself in the face. That would be interesting if they didn't trade him. That would be really dumb.
Just got nothing back for the NFL leading rusher last year. It would
Yeah.
be crazy. And then Pro Football Talk went on to say, if that happens, the Broncos and the Chiefs would be 2 teams that would show interest in him. He
Because the
just...
Chiefs didn't bring back Melvin Gordon.
it's very true.
They have an empty spot.
Empty spot on their practice squad.
Yeah.
Josh
Wow.
Jacobs
Josh
wants to go
Jacobs.
on there. And
Friend of the
this,
show, Melvin Gordon.
to put into perspective how Josh Jacobs is viewed right now in the NFL, Pat Surtain on the NFL Top 100, there's a lot of flaws with the NFL Top 100.
There are.
But how NFL players view Pat Surtain, they think he's the 49th best player in the NFL. You think about it, that's like the 2nd best player on a team. That's not bad. I think Pat should be way higher than that.
Yeah, top 20.
They have Josh Jacobs, the 12th best player in the entire NFL.
And the Raiders like, eh.
The Raiders are like, we don't want to pay him more. You know, he probably wants $13 million over a couple of years or something. And they don't want to pay him. And they
This
could
is-
just let him walk. Should the Broncos be interested if he's out there?
Classic Raiders.
And the biggest reason to do it, I think, is so that he'll stop playing the Broncos. Because he's played 7 games, has 721 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns.
And what's his record? He's 7-0.
He is 7-0, isn't he? I forgot about that.
7-0.
He missed the game the Broncos won.
Yeah.
The only game the Broncos have beat the Raiders in the past 4 years, Josh Jacobs, that's the only game he's missed.
It's crazy.
And in the past 3 games, Josh Jacobs is averaging like 130 rushing yards against the Broncos.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It is
He's been a
insane.
nightmare. He's like Derek. He's been like the Derrick Henry of.
Yep.
And like 2 months
Of the
ago,
AFC West.
it would have made a lot of sense to go get a running back just because we didn't know what was up with Javonte. Right now, it's a
Yeah.
little bit weird because you have Javonte and you have Samaje, so you're kind of you're set up well. Questionable depth, but you have a top 2.
Yeah.
It would be if Josh Jacobs comes in, he's a starter. Javonte's now a number 2 back. Arguably best number 2 back in the NFL.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Probably the best number 3 back in the NFL with Samaje
Yes.
Perine.
Yes. Samaje would be pissed
He would be really
Livid.
pissed.
because he came to Denver to get more touches.
I also
And he'd like not see the ball at all.
I wonder about the personalities in that room too, because Javonte and Samaje, like they're both incredibly chill humans.
Yeah.
I don't know about Josh Jacobs. Dalvin Cook seems a little bit maybe high maintenance.
Yeah.
It would just be a strange dynamic.
I think Josh is more along the chill side.
Okay.
Kind of like our dynamic here. I think it's really similar to what we're seeing on the couch right
Interesting.
now.
Who's what?
Chill,
Chill.
high maintenance.
High maintenance
Dalvin
Hank.
Cook.
High maintenance.
Dalvin
High
Cook's pretty good.
maintenance
HMH, baby.
Hank. I love it. Oh, give me some HGH.
That's pretty good.
Just saying.
Alexis, what a nickname. That's perfect.
HMH?
HGH.
High maintenance, Hank?
Oh.
High maintenance.
Oh,
Hank.
where'd I get HGH from?
I don't know. You just said it.
I think you're thinking of the drug.
I am definitely thinking of the
Again,
drug.
talking is hard. We know.
Yes, talking is hard. Listening's hard too. Okay, so are you doing it though?
I would. I don't think so. I don't think I could justify that contract because if he's a free agent, he's probably getting at least $10 million a year and at least 3 years. It's late, so that's why it could be down to those numbers.
Yep. Maybe he takes a little discount too to like join the AFC West,
Ooh.
face his former team twice a year, and tell the Raiders to
It's true.
suck it.
So I think you're right, Alexis, when it comes to the Chiefs. And that's kind of what this article was hinting at, was he would ideally want to go join a competitor. And I think he'd probably just be getting a 1-year deal right now, a 1-year prove-it deal, to then go and try to get the bag next offseason as a free agent. And
It's funny that Josh Jacobs would have to prove himself to anyone.
Exactly.
But okay, I get it.
It's so true.
Okay.
And
At
so
that point,
it
just
would-
sign the tender.
I'm with
Take your
Cody. Keep him
$10.5
out.
million or
Chiefs.
whatever it is.
I think at this point he just wants to give the middle finger to
That
the
could be.
Chiefs because in this article it said he understands he wouldn't be getting the $10 million from another team at this
Yeah.
point in the
Yeah.
season.
So the
kinda
middle
like
finger
you're
to the
saying.
Raiders.
Yes, the middle finger to the
Yeah,
Raiders.
Okay.
Talking.
It said for the shut up. It said for the Broncos, if he signs there, the contract would have to be right. So that probably means the
Yeah.
Broncos have to pay more than the Chiefs. But is it maybe even more worth it to pay him and bring him on? So 1, he's not a Raider. 2, he's not a Chief.
100%. I think if Josh Jacobs is going to potentially return to the AFC West, he needs to be a Denver Bronco. Like, to face him, I mean, granted, like, the defense, the Broncos defense is, I think, a top 5 defense this year again. However, to face Josh Jacobs just with Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Josh Jacobs, like, that would suck. Like,
Yes.
now all of a sudden I'm getting concerned. Like, I think we beat the Chiefs. To be the opposite of Hank, I think we beat the Chiefs twice this year.
I love that.
I think we have the full
love
sweep.
that.
I think we have the full sweep on the Chiefs this year. But if Josh Jacobs is on that team, I start to get a little concerned.
Well, you're making Hank a little excited by saying
You're
Josh
not making me
Jacobs, Travis
excited.
Kelce, Patrick
No.
Mahomes.
I know,
all in
because he's
one
a big
team.
Chiefs fan. Ugh.
I might faint. I'm going white in the face. I think not. I guess it did get burned yesterday, but if it's $10 million for 1 year, just my brain says that's probably not worth it. But every other part of me says you absolutely do it.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think
it'd be
this is
so
an
fun.
emotional decision.
Do it.
Yes.
He also had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. He still had 400 receiving yards, 53 catches, and he led the NFL with 1,600 rushing yards and almost 5 yards per carry in Josh McDaniels' offense.
Did you just look that up? Or
It's all right here.
is it all right there? I was like, that is a photographic memory from that
I know
article.
my Alabama
peeked.
products.
Wow.
I didn't peek. I can't
Okay.
see that. A lot
Okay.
of blur there.
I wish I had my laptop right now, but
I looked it
didn't
up this
come
morning.
prepared.
I
I only have
all
like
that
3%
this morning.
battery left, so
Yeah.
I can't
That's
the
the worst.
research. I'll give you guys bad info instead of have a bad
Just make it up.
Okay.
Also, real quick
That
before
was
we move
fun.
on, I also added a challenge flag. If you guys ever want to challenge it, if you guys
Wow.
say something and don't believe
Wow.
it, so
What's the noise for that?
same thing. They're all referees. They whistle for everything.
love their
That's kind of
whistles.
lazy. Yeah, here, I'm not going to lie.
I added new things and I'm the lazy one.
Yeah.
literally while
See,
he's
if
back
you
there.
wanted to, you would have threw the challenge flag at me saying you're lazy, but you didn't. You dropped the ball.
Because I
Oh.
can't challenge. I don't challenge. I am the referee.
I think
I
you-
only tell you what's wrong or not. Not like,
I want
Okay.
different referees.
yeah, because you're gonna be wrong a lot of the time.
HGH Hank, you're a referee.
Sounds good.
Yep. All right.
Then I'm not throwing any flags.
Homegrown Hank.
Yeah.
Comment section?
Comment
Comment
section.
section.
First one coming in from UW Whitewater Broncos says, as a
Whoa.
lifelong Broncos fan and a UW Whitewater
Yeah.
alum, I'm a huge fan of Quinn Miners and believe he deserves a proper nickname. Whitewater, Wisconsin has an interesting and haunted history, earned itself the title, the Second Salem. Combine that with Quinn's large stature, and I believe the Second Salem Sequoia could be a fitting nickname. Ow. Why do we get to Sequoia?
The big
tree
because
chopping.
Because it's big. Oh, and he pushes trees over.
He does. Well,
That's
he
pretty
did.
good. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a little long.
it is.
Look at the second Salem Sequoia out there just pushing people over.
That would really confuse. There's a lot going on. I do kind of like it. It also makes me want to do like a video with RG where we just ask Quinn what the biggest tree he could push over is. It's like show him a picture of like a small tree
You know,
and then
he'd
like a
probably say
medium
to you,
tree.
he'd probably say, "Come on, man, that's in the past. I'm trying
I
to
just
become
wanna
a
talk
better
about football."
football player."
I have an idea. Why don't we ask Quinn what he wants his new nickname to be?
He's gonna
Okay,
say,
That's
the
a
belly
good
of the
Alexis,
beast. The belly
I'm
is
just
over.
trying to focus on being a good football
Quinn.
player. I'm
I know,
Quinn.
but like you can't just be Quinn. Quinn's kind of a tough like.
Oh.
How many Quinns do you know? You know what I mean? Quinn's just kind of a unique name. I just don't think it rolls off the tongue very well. Like I need a fun nickname. And okay, I'm down if we want to kill the belly, but like
You want to kill it, huh?
Okay, no, okay.
Wow, geez.
Chop it off.
Poke it so many times.
okay, the belly is dead. The belly of the beast is dead. Okay, fine. But like, let's just ask him.
If he rode a
What is-
motorcycle, we
Let's
could-
ask him what his wife calls him.
Oh, wow.
Does he have a wife?
He does.
Wow.
Yeah, his college sweetheart. They're super
Wow.
adorable. They got married last year, I think.
Oh, what do
Yeah.
we think What do we think Mrs. Meinertz calls Quinn?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I think we should ask.
Maybe the belly is just reserved for her.
What if she's the only one who can call him the belly?
You guys.
I doubt that's it. But if he rode
But
a
may- I mean,
motorcycle, we
you
could
know
call him
what?
Harley Quinn.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But
Why?
also like
Because
Get
he'd
it?
be on a
Harley
Harley motorcycle.
Quinn.
You know who
Why?
Harley Quinn is?
No.
Okay.
No.
Comic book character. People
Okay,
cared when Margot
that
Robbie,
sounds like
Robbie
a good one.
played her.
That sounds like a good one
Yeah.
then, Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it
like this.
wasn't
We need a
great.
cool nickname for Alexis. That is true. Because
Oh, that is a good
everybody
one.
calls me AP.
Hey, Pete,
Yep.
do you
But,
like that?
I don't know. I
Adrian
think we
Peterson
should-
connection?
That's
Yeah,
the thing, though.
no Adrian Peterson connection.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody says like AP ran for 2,000 yards, I'm like, wait,
You're
she
like,
did?
wow, she did? What an athlete.
Really? I
What
forgot
an
about
athlete.
I saw your athletic skills were on display today.
Okay, but I'm a little sad because the more athletic version of that, with the hips,
Oh,
the
yeah.
hip flip,
Yeah.
RG did not get on camera.
It's true.
He got
Yeah.
the really bad one,
Yeah. And if
where I
you wanna
almost tripped on myself.
Yeah, you were putting the moves on that indoor field.
Told you. Cold brew today.
Yeah, cold
I
brew.
did the same
yeah,
thing.
Yep.
Cold brew and 2 lattes.
I went one latte double shot.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's equivalent to 2 lattes for Sean.
We are now
I'm
off
not
the
sure.
rails.
You know,
we're now off the record. Okay.
you know your guy
Alexis wants to
Quinn
leave.
92?
I know Quinn 92. Yeah.
Quinn 77.
Quinn 77. Especially if he listens to Quinn 92.
What are the odds? 2 in 10.
Quinn's
20%.
from the northern part of this country.
Is that where Quinn 92 is from?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Quinn
that Quinn
92.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So maybe.
It's possible.
Yeah. I like where you're going
I
with
like
this
that.
thing.
Colorado
thought you
School of
would.
Miners.
Colorado School of Miners.
That's good, Luke. I like
That's
That
that.
good.
is really good. Keep
I
these
don't hate
rolling
that.
in.
Yeah, this is fun.
Ice out AP.
Iced out AP.
Iced
First
out,
to-
iced out AP.
Oh, the watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the
that's
watches?
interesting. The Audemars. That's I think how you pronounce it. Is it Pearson? The AP watch. They're beautiful. Hold on. I actually recently Googled these. 'Cause I was like,
Wow.
are they really $35,000?
Wow.
No joke.
Whoa.
Hold on. Okay. You
Are
guys
you
can move
buying
on
one?
and I'll come back. I'm sorry. In what life would I be investing in one of those?
That'd be
Okay,
pretty
I'll
cool.
figure
when
this out.
Alexis pulls
You guys
that
go.
up, Bronco Oiler says, I know Zac Stevens was held in pretty high regard coming in here,
Mm-hmm.
but do you think it may have been a mistake to bring in such an inexperienced coach to lead the offensive line room? Aside from the quarterback, it's the next most important group on the offense, and one, we need a massive turnaround from them. The depth isn't great, obviously, but it worries me that the first group is still struggling as much as it is. Mistake or not?
It's too early, and that's a cop out. I think that in general, if you said first time offensive line coach, I would say, ooh, don't love that. But also, if Sean Payton signs off on the guy, I trust Sean Payton to hire coaching staff more than just about anybody. Don't laugh at me here.
Yeah, it's tough talking
Tough
today,
talking
huh,
day.
Hank?
Yeah.
I don't mind it because you have an experienced head coach.
True.
If this was an inexperienced head coach with an inexperienced offensive line coach with an inexperienced tight end coach with an inexperienced quarterback coach with an inexperienced offensive coordinator, then you're like, wow, that was last year's staff, and how did that turn out? But you can have some inexperience at some places because you don't want all old guys who have been
Yeah.
around for 30 years. You do need a good mix of that.
I think the younger guys bring a better energy, right?
Yeah.
Where I think that's a good thing to have.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's why Hank's on the show. It's for the energy.
Yeah,
Interesting.
The
Yeah.
young guys.
Isn't that the opposite of what we said before?
Yeah.
I was gonna
it's
coast
me.
off your guys' energy.
Yeah, I'm here for the energy.
There we
It's the
go.
only
Yeah,
reason
you're
I'm here.
boring.
Okay, and last comment.
It's like Piguet, like
Oh.
Audemars, like whatever, Piguet.
Whoa.
These are
Wow,
them.
Alexa, some of them are $71,000.
I know.
Or $500,000.
This
Look
is
at that
crazy.
purple one.
I just don't feel like this aligns with my personal brand.
That.
Like I feel like, I mean, as much as I'm sponsored by I'm not actually sponsored by a very large clothing store in Cherry Creek. We were talking about this earlier.
Shout out.
Shout out, can't say it, but they do have an anniversary sale going on right now.
Is it their end of summer
Yeah,
sale?
anniversary
Wow.
sale. As much as you would think that this bougie watch brand would, yes, iced out Autumn. Am I saying it right? Audemars Piguets.
Utterman's Piguet.
Andre, help me
Whoa.
out. Like, type in the pronunciation in the comments.
Yeah.
I'm screwing it up, but as much as I think I like this, I think this is a compliment. It's just probably a little too much for me. I'm more your girl next door kind of vibe.
Okay.
With your watches?
I don't even own like
With your
a watch
lifestyle?
Like that.
I don't
An
wear
Apple
watches.
Watch is like the watch that I
Yep.
usually
Yeah.
rock, but not today.
Yeah.
These are crazy.
I know. We're done. Next
They're
question.
done.
used
Comment?
for like 150.
Is there a
grand.
comment? We're done?
Yeah, we got another comment. Wow, Alexa's very eager to get to this last comment.
Guys.
Coming in from the count says, I'm loath to ask a question about football when there are such quandaries as, is this a mug or a cup?
Wow.
But I'm curious about run blocking in the ground game. How has it looked? Love the count.
Run blocking.
I like the run blocking's been much better than the pass blocking.
Yeah.
True.
Much better.
That's
I
what this
mentioned
line's built for.
the Bulls block. I know Michael Burton, fullback, so it only kind of counts, but he had a great block yesterday as well. One where I was like, oh wow, I see why you actually bring somebody like that in.
I'm surprised they didn't bring Jano back.
Yeah,
Where is
we love
Jano?
Jano. I think he's at his home. I think he started a roofing company.
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
He's
It's,
in-
it's not officially retirement for him, but it's starting his next chapter in life.
That's
Okay.
right.
It's in Omaha.
22 Janos would have been nice.
Omaha, right? Isn't he in Omaha? I think he's Omaha.
It's definitely Nebraska
Pete's me.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, run blocking has been good. I didn't take too many notes today, so I don't have specifics. But like Ben Powers, just about every day has a pretty cool block.
He needs
Bowles has
that.
had a couple. Those two have really stood out. Also the tight ends.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do we think that Albert O looks like a better
He
blocker
had a
this year?
block a couple days ago where I was like, oh wow, that was good. I think it might have been on like a screen or something. I can't remember if it was a toss or a screen. Oh, it was a jet sweep. That's what it was. A little bit of both. But there was one where he hit a guy. I was like, that was pretty good. There have also been a couple, like Marcus Haynes got him pretty bad
Yeah.
on one for tackle for loss. If you don't know who that is, that's kind of the point.
Damn.
There have been a couple of others too. So it's hit and miss instead. It's hit and miss probably compared to just miss in the past.
Okay,
But better.
but that's an improvement.
It is an
That is an
improvement.
improvement.
Yeah.
Improvement. We're always looking for improvements around here. Did we improve today?
We as a group, the
Yeah,
three of
I
us,
think we
no.
did. Oh.
we,
No,
we
we
probably
didn't.
were like,
we fell down.
we fell.
We
but
fell
Russ
so
improved.
that Russ could
Center
fly.
stage.
Yeah.
Center
Yes,
stage,
so
Russell
he could be
Wilson.
center stage. He flew, and we're flying into our weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Alexis, what do you got? Very intent looking.
Audemars Piguet? Gosh, see?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think
I
that's
still
right.
don't even got it. All right.
See, we
I'll
need to
deal with this
just
later.
go to the weekend. We'll figure that out tomorrow. That'll be our
Yeah.
job.
That's
That's
on
our
our day
homework.
off.
We'll be back on Monday where the Broncos practice, but no fans, so don't plan on going out there. But we'll see you Monday on the DNVR Broncos podcast.